You laughing when that turned black because you were so proud of your transition there was super cute. The second it went to like the black, he's like,
yes.
What do you call a Mexican that gets baptized?
What?
Bean dip.
I like that.
Stupid.
My Billy, sweet Billy boy.
I guess that's very Disney. Very Disney.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, everybody out there? What's up, all you hose heads? This is one we've been teasing you for a bit, and now we're getting right into it. So.
We edged for long enough.
Yes, so welcome everybody back to the show. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Tomcat, aka Tom Thompson. Work hard, drink easy.
Stop.
I'm not going to tell you what it is.
It's Roadhead.
It said it's Broadhead.
Oh, you were covering the beer. I literally thought the beer was called Roadhead.
Isn't that funny? That'd be actually a great fucking beer. Welcome everybody. I'm obviously Tomcat, aka Tom Thompson, and
That's Billy. I heard it's retarded or something.
that's Billy.
How many times? You gotta find new ones. There's gotta be enough of the Billy on there.
There's fucking too many, right?
Fuck you, Billy.
All right, welcome everybody back to the show. This is pretty exciting. We have yet to. This is a little strange brew redo, but this is like a way throwback to when Mike was on the show for a couple episodes. So we're getting back. We're talking about again. We're going to be diving into the whole idea of Disney. Billy's favorite.
I'm not a big, like, honestly, I'm not going to get a lot of hate for this because a lot of people are. I've never really been a big Disney movie fan. Like, yeah, okay, there's some classics, like Lion King's pretty cool when he dies. Bambi when she dies. Snow White when she dies.
Yeah, all the parents die.
Those are all the good moments in
right, everyone just fucking dies. Yeah.
I like that part of the movies. I'm like,
welcome to the dark secrets.
You don't have parents
Disney.
either.
Yeah, it's crazy, and we'll get into all that stuff because that stuff's weird as fuck too. Of all the movies that they do that exclude like a parent dies, so then it's like Walt Disney will raise you.
Don't
gotta
worry,
get on your knees.
I wonder if that's where Michael Jackson got it from.
Man, everything is connected. There's 666 all throughout his name. The Illuminati pyramid. This one's a little bit of a stretch.
I was gonna say you even cut off the last tower to make that happen, and it's still not centered.
It still works, but I
could draw a pyramid over anything if that's what you're going for.
It goes deep, bro. Everything goes deep. Look at this. Look, all the symbolism, man. Like, there's so much shit we're going to be talking about in this episode.
Scott, what's the top right? Top, that's left. That would be left.
Ask about the Illuminati.
Oh, ask.
Well, we'll get into that because that's on the Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
Fucking strange that they try to influence us all the time. Weird. But each one of us has grown up watching Disney cartoons such as Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and Goofy. You know, we owe them our childhood, or fucking Dewey. However, once you get to know, I don't know why that made me laugh. However, once you get to know a little about maybe the alleged dark secrets of Disney and its parks, which we'll get into on the second part. That's going to be a lot of fun. You would probably doubt that the company's efforts to obviously, it's not the happiest place on earth. And it's, and now Disney is like, I don't know. I was going to say something that people would like. It's very much pushing the gay agenda. It is what it is, but there's drag queens on Disney Plus now. It's a lot of fun stuff going on there.
I tuned out a while ago on all that, and I actually tuned back in. Not when you're talking, sorry. I meant like with that whole community. Yeah. And I tuned back in more recently, and sorry, am I wrong? I think the last thing I heard was over 782 genders.
What?
Something along those lines, and I was like, "Whoa, I missed a lot of those."
See, and
was that somebody making fun of it, or was that like are they actually getting?
Don't know.
I believe it. I believe it got that ridiculous.
And I got nothing against anybody, as I've said, but it becomes ridiculous when it's to me.
You have nothing against them.
Yeah. I've said this to Anton, right? That I will never use pronouns. I'm sorry, and he's like, "We couldn't go out of your way just to make someone feel better." No, fuck you. I'm sorry. I don't care about pronouns, and I never will. You know
what? My line is if somebody walks up to me and went, "Okay, can you please refer to me as this?" Sure.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Maybe.
I'm not going to go out of my way to be like, sorry, like, what would you prefer to be? Like, what's your name? That's what I'm calling you.
And then non-binary, isn't that like, I feel like a woman today, and then tomorrow I feel like a man? Isn't that non-binary? Where you're like, you're not a gender. It's just like you just pick, and that to me.
Okay, so that actually just proved, like right there too, just with the questioning in your voice, is that we really don't know much about this, and we are judging this.
I'm pretty sure non-binary is that where they don't, they're not a gender in general.
They don't get labeled.
To me, kind of sounds like mental illness, but that's just my opinion.
Oh, fucking.
Let's get back to Disney because Disney is super.
Jeffrey
gay.
Epstein.
Yeah, we'll get into that at some point. So the films dating back as far as the 1930s, still convey a sense of magic and wonder. And still create smiles, even on the hardened hardenest of the souls. This is also true with obviously the immaculate, clean, and happy theme parks in California, which we'll get into on the second part. Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Paris and Shanghai. Tons of Disney shit. To bring it up to speed with everybody, if you didn't know, when I did fucking 3 grams of mushrooms and then came inside and watched Pinocchio, I just came to the whole conclusion it's about fucking child trafficking and pedophilia. So once you see the symbolism, you start to weed through it. You weed through the weeds, bro.
Is Pinocchio, do you think his nose is really his dick?
Yes, and that's why he's getting fucking, they're getting it hard, and then fucking Geppetto strokes it, because even Geppetto's weird ass, if you watch it, and the weird thing is with psychedelic stuff like that, it can change movies to an extent, but even Chelsea was like, yeah, it's weird. Like the foxes are drooling over the wooden boy, especially the original. It's like, ooh, that wooden boy. And it's like, they're going to use him. You use 3
grams of mushrooms and you're like, what's a good movie to watch? Pinocchio. That's what you did?
Well, actually, I think before that, I watched The Witch Outside, which was frightening. So, love watching horror movies on psychedelics. It fucks with my head.
Like, said you watched Pinocchio
after when we came inside, when I was coming down from the mushrooms.
I know, but you just okay. I thought you just called Pinocchio a horror movie.
No, it kind of is. You're going to Pleasure Island, and guess what's at Pleasure Island? Guess what they call Jeffrey Epstein's island? Pleasure Island.
That's fine.
Fucking weird.
Sounds like I didn't have a lot of pleasure there.
You would, Billy. You
probably.
Would. Also,
think about it.
Even
it sounds pleasureful.
Justin Trudeau's foundation seems to look very familiar. The symbol on it looks very close to the boy lover symbol. Well, he's openly a fucking pedophile.
Who cares?
He has been friends with tons of pedophiles, as Walt Disney probably was too. Even now, the Disney Corporation seems to be expanding. The company's image is almost flawless to many. The corporation has taken over, obviously, the film and television industry after purchasing some of the world's most recognizable franchises, including Star Wars, which they almost ruined. They're ruining it now. And Marvel.
It was pretty cool. I kind of liked what they did. They actually
did new ones.
They did it kind of, yeah. Like I actually, yeah.
I enjoy all 3 of them.
That's the thing. To try to follow up like a legendary movie series like that, like that's difficult enough.
Yeah, nobody likes Ray though.
They did pretty good for like what they had. Mm-hmm. Like I'll give it to them. That wasn't bad. They didn't. I enjoyed it,
but like obviously. If you're a Star Wars fan out there, obviously there's holes in all this shit. But as I've said on like First Class Horror,
we those spaceships move way too fast.
Yeah.
There's no way.
we just always said like that. We get what we get. Like that's my whole point of view now, even with horror movies, and because I'm able to do that on Aaron's show, is just like you get what you get. And Billy's fine. You get a fucking laptop so we can do more Patreon episodes, and you can probably jump on some shows about like movies because Anton wants to do that movie about the one about Hunter S. Thompson.
I think why I didn't get a laptop is because when I'm not here, I'm just like I just want to go to bed.
Yeah, because all you do is work. Billy's gonna work himself in the ground.
Billy's gonna fucking retire soon.
Let's hopefully he doesn't suddenly die like all these. I'm just kidding. All these fucking goddamn athletes. So, however, obviously, like it's obtaining. It's obviously the obtained Fox in those properties. Mm-hmm. Simpsons, crazy. Yet it spends a fortune on maintaining the vision that Walt Disney dreamed of when he first opened Disneyland. However, behind the scenes, it's not all as it seems, whether it's exhausted workers at Disneyland resorts or Disney's dark origins at the animation studios, the company, or even the man himself isn't as perfect as some would believe. Oh, that he was a raging anti-Semite? Yeah.
Probably.
We'll get into that in a bit.
There's a good chance.
It's a fucking huge chance. Look at this shit. Like,
Mein Kampf.
Mein Kampf. You know where Hitler liked to read books? Mein Comfy Couch. Sorry, I love that fucking show. Obviously, we'll get into that in a bit.
That's actually really funny.
So that's so long ago, it still makes me laugh. So during the scene in question, obviously, so did you know that there's a controversial scene in Disney's 1992 animated film Aladdin that's now been edited out of DVD and Blu-ray releases?
Okay, so you just have it right. Like I have all the original VHSs, so we can fact check all this. I have all the original fucking Disney VHS.
Billy has it in like his spank bank. He has like a closet room.
Oh, my mom holds on to weird thing, and I'm super happy she did. The one thing she did is because movies were a big thing with my brothers and I, and so we had all the VHSs for everything.
Yeah,
Mom kept all of them. So I have like.
You still have them? You know how much you could probably sell
I
those
don't.
for?
I looked at it. I was like, is it worth getting rid of? And I was like, each individual one's only going for like $60 to $80.
That's
and I'm
still
like,
pretty.
It is okay, but I was like,
VHS.
I'm like, look, it's not. I'm like, the sentimental value of the fact that she kept it for 50 years is worth more than $500 to me for the
Yeah.
upload. I was like, I'm all right.
So during the scene in question, Aladdin is trying to put the moves on his future love interest, Princess Jasmine, before being shut down by Raja, the
she
Jasmine
fucking
pet
shut him
tiger.
down.
As the camera focuses on Jasmine, Aladdin can be heard muttering the line, "Good teenagers take off their clothes." Now listen, watch, and observe.
So how's our little bow doing? Come on, good teenagers. Take off. Down, So how's our little bow doing? Come on, good teenagers. Take off. Good teenagers. Take off. On, good.
That's exactly her eyes go up.
I know. No wonder why she looks so surprised, man. No wonder why she looks so surprised. And it's supposed to say, "Good kitty, take off and go." It definitely says "good teenagers take off their clothes," because you can hear there's not a K in that. You can hear him say it. And like the thing is, and then I'll be on a skeptical side to an extent of that. You didn't always know what would be edited in after, especially when it came to the animation studio and the little tidbits of things that they would show.
I think we talked about that because I was like, think about it. Your job is to sit there all day, and your boss is a hard ass, like to get shit done. You're just like,
yeah, why not?
I'm gonna fuck your movie up right now.
Why not put a dick on the cover of?
It's like, you know what? No one's gonna know. I think this is just disguised enough that this is gonna pass. No one's gonna see it, and then the public will, and then my bosses will get in shit for it.
Well, the thing is, the audio would have been recorded from the actor.
Well, you can manipulate audio.
I truly do believe that Disney is manipulating children. And
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying like that's extremely possible.
Your subconscious picks up way more than as you normally observe things in your everyday world. Your subconscious picks up like 60% of what you normally don't see and stuff like that. That's why there's so much symbolism, and why Juan talks about it so much in his podcast is that there's symbolism everywhere, and they use little fucking drippings of stuff to get people, and they condition people in certain ways. According to the audio commentary, Aladdin is supposed to be saying, "Good kitty, take off and go." However, the line has since been edited and reissued DVDs in newer Blu-ray formats.
They're like, you found it.
And the thing is, they just took it off instead of being like, "Oh yeah, it's nothing. This is what he actually says." They took it off, which shows guilt to me. So. Fuck this fucking racist piece of shit Semite.
Isn't he still frozen?
Yeah, and that's a fucking weird theory too. That like he actually was frozen underneath Disneyland.
That's funny too. Is how did that theory get so popular that like everybody knew that? Like I knew that. I knew that in like grade 5. Like, I knew that before Family Guy did it.
Look at him. He's giving the fucking Sig Heil.
He's waving. He's holding a child.
He's holding Mickey Mouse, his creation.
Sorry.
There's like a racist Mickey Mouse thing too that I didn't find. I've seen it though.
A racist Mickey Mouse?
Yeah. There's like.
How can you be a racist to a fucking
there's like
cartoon?
No, but it's like a racist cartoon.
Oh, so like Mickey Mouse is calling people the N-word?
Yeah, stuff like that. It's
damn.
something like that. It's
Okay.
not. He's not calling people N-words, but he's like dressed up like. I know there's a fucking strange cartoon out there because I saw clips.
Oh, you fucking Jew. oh, that's goofy. Never mind.
I blanked out the swastika on Donald Duck's caps just in case.
Why? What's the matter?
Yeah, well, I don't guess. In context, it depends.
These are fucking apparently. Oh, that's not blanked out. You didn't blank that one out on his arm.
Oh, it's too blurry.
No, on the right side, it's not.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And the Hitler picture, it isn't either.
Check this out. What the fuck is that? Huh? We're showing a picture from 101 Dalmatians, and there is on the spots of one of the Dalmatians is definitely a swastika. Fucking crazy. So we'll get in that a little bit later. Obviously, one would think that appearing or singing in The Wizard of Oz. Or Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life, the late Snow White voice actress Adriana Quesalotti, whatever, would be one of the most well-known performers in the world. Unfortunately,
now I'm like questioning myself. I need Google Speak to say this. Am I wrong? Now I think I'm wrong.
No, it's definitely Adriana. Yeah. Or what did I say? Yeah, I said that, right? Whatever.
It's a fucking woman.
Who cares?
It's a fucking woman. Exactly. Stop putting names in you can't pronounce. Just put A.D.
No, I have to. I have to fucking get this right. I don't know why, but I will read things before the show and like practice, especially for like foreign names of episodes we're doing. And then when we do it live, it just doesn't like,
oh my God,
the car doesn't want to start.
The
car, no, I didn't practice this, but the car doesn't want to start.
In general,
yeah.
You practice?
It's for some.
I'd love to see it at the beginning. I'd love to see that practice because it's a fucking shit show when we're talking.
I will, like, especially foreign names. I'll look up like how to, especially we're talking about serial killers or whatever. And
you can only names are difficult sometimes, especially just reading. Anyways, carry on.
Yeah, reading is so difficult. Apparently, she was a famous, obviously, performer, well-known performer in the world. Unfortunately, aside from her work as Snow White, she was never credited for anything after appearing in the famous Disney animated film. The reason for this was revealed by comedian, television, and film radio actor Jack Benny. Benny wanted to use her in one of his radio shows and asked Walt Disney's permission. Refusing, Disney told Benny, "I'm sorry, but I don't know how Walt Disney would say, I'm sorry, but that voice cannot be used anywhere. I don't want to spoil the illusion of Snow White." So Disney used his influence to make sure that she would never work in a credited role ever again to satisfy his own selfish needs. So essentially, because her voice is in Snow White, she was never able to.
She made enough.
Yeah, she was never able to have like a career on other formats and stuff like that, which it says she was a well-known performer, so she sang and did stuff like that on stage, but on recording it's like he wanted to own her voice, which you can't do, you fucking anti-Semite.
He paid her probably a lot of fucking money.
It's fucking crazy, man.
He's like, here's all the money you would have made, now shut the fuck up. Go home. Stop working, please.
Yeah, because it's just weird to spoil the illusion of Snow White. Like, what the fuck is this? Snow White's about cocaine too, so yeah. Yeah.
I assumed that from the beginning, to be honest.
It's all about cocaine. And then you have this whole thing.
Actually kisses the corpse of a minor.
Yes.
He's just seen.
So the prince drinks Snow White actually kisses the corpse of a minor that he just saw because he's never seen her before in the movie. And then he sees her sleeping there, and she's supposed to be like fucking 15, 16 or something like that, maybe even younger. I think she's like 14 or something.
Oh, that's a full-blown woman back then.
And yeah, and then he just goes up and is like, "Oh, this sleeping chick, I know what she could use."
I love the opposite side of that. Like once she wakes up, it's like, "Oh, I thought you were dead." I'm not really into this anymore. And then he whisks her
away. So fucking weird. So nowadays, everything media related, especially if it's aimed at children, is expected to be as politically correct and as tame as possible. However, back in the 1930s, there was a Mickey Mouse comic strip that would never see the light of day.
I feel like you've shown me that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think you've shown me.
In one strip in particular, focused on the storyline where Mickey's love interest, Minnie Mouse, fell in love with another character. As a result, the entire storyline focuses on Mickey trying to find various ways to end it all. This is not the one I was talking about. So
okay. I feel like you've shown me some. I feel like we found those before.
The particularly dark strip has depictions of Mickey Mouse jumping off a bridge, using a rope and a tree, and even gas. That is fucking crazy that they did a cartoon back in fucking the 1930s where like Mickey or Minnie finds another love interest and then the whole strip is just Mickey trying to kill himself.
That's actually not crazy. I've seen a couple like that too.
This is a kids cartoon.
No. But back in the 30s, it was different. Those cartoon strips are basically in the paper for the most part, and they were for adults. It wasn't necessarily pandered to kids back then.
Disney was always intended for children.
I understand that, but there were cartoon strips, meaning they were in the like pretty much the ones you're talking about are like the newspaper strips.
Yeah, the comics. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah,
but it's from Disney. Disney has always been directed towards kids.
To date, though, the comic newspaper strips are fucking weird sometimes.
They're not. I've never seen anything inappropriate. Like what Dilbert's.
How often do you read a fucking?
I used to read them all the time when I was a kid. That was the only thing. My dad had the paper, and I was like, "That's what I wanted."
I was gonna say I used to fucking
Dilbert.
look at every time my dad got the paper.
Marmalade. What's that dog's name?
Marmalade. Yeah.
Is it Marmalade?
Yeah.
There's like I used to like Hagrid the Horrible and shit. Like fuck yeah.
No, but they get weird sometimes with like the off color shit.
Fucking weird. That's just weird. It's particularly dark, obviously, but the moral of the story shows that Disney mascot coming to his senses before the comic strip's dark humor was certainly a strange direction for the company. A little weird, Walt. Okay, a little weird.
Again, we're talking the fucking 30s, man. Like.
So, you know when most of these movies were produced was like the 30s and 40s, like Snow White.
I understand, but that being said, like all the craziest shit that you're like, now that's fun. It's like, yeah, you're right. Now that is fun. But back then, to kill themselves that wasn't all the time, really fun. He put that strip out, and like I guarantee you, it was a big hit. Everyone's like, this is so fucking funny,
and it led to 5 kids committing suicide. You know that?
Yeah, probably. I feel like that's a quick fucking. I feel like that was just a rebuttal you had to get me to shut up. I don't think that's true.
It's not true. But who knows? Now, just out for means. Disney was responsible for feeding the notion in the minds of people that lemmings, a lemming is a small rodent, usually found near or around the Arctic tundra. Often.
Isn't a lemming a cat?
No, they're a small rodent.
No,
a
lemming's like a cheetah, isn't it?
Small rodent. Look it up, motherfucker. I've seen the clip of this shit.
Am I thinking
I didn't have this pulled up, which
am I wrong?
Sucks.
Is a lemming not a fucking like cheetah cat thing?
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
No, it is a small rodent.
Oh, it is too.
Okay, so
what the fuck was I thinking of? It almost looks like it's like a fucking hamster.
Let's see.
Looks like a hamster.
Click on a picture of it. Oh, that's fucking cute as shit.
It's like a hamster.
It's very cute.
It's like a hamster mixed like.
So let's not. Let's it
is a hamster.
You know what's funny though? It's a small rodent. Technically, hamsters in the rodent family.
I swear to God, I thought a lemming was a fucking cat.
So often, they often commit suicide. Talking about more suicide.
The lemmings do?
Yeah, often commits mass suicide when their population grows out of control. Wow, maybe we should. Just kidding. This is like
for the greater good.
For the greater good. That's fucking crazy. It's like, okay, guys, they have a meeting. All I'm like,
who's the ones that we hate the most?
Yeah, I know. They're like, I wish I could do a fucking.
It's like
chipmunk voice. Can you do a chipmunk voice? Try it.
Like Alvin is like super high pitched.
Suicide.
Well, that's like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like a chipmunk voice like.
Oh yeah, it's like. Everybody go die.
Yeah, I feel like that's a more realistic chipmunk voice.
It's so fucked.
But that's that being said, sorry. Back to the point before. Like, could you imagine so it's almost like the Holocaust, but it's like a reality game show.
Do you wonder if one of them has like a swastika armband?
It's got like the best. It's got the best of every race there is in the country.
Yeah.
And then the best of the best out of their race, and they do all the preliminaries and whatever, and they find out this guy's my top performer. And they put them all together on a reality show, and whoever loses, that whole race dies.
Makes sense.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't want to be white. Whites are probably going to lose that.
This. I bought it for the name.
It's Peppers.
Hey, you'll like it.
It's Letterkenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already knew that.
I didn't know this.
I bought it. Have you ever watched Letterkenny?
You made me watch it. It is fairly fun.
Letterkenny's fucking hilarious. They're like, yo, buddy, grab a Puppers for me, please.
I got it for the name.
Yeah.
Puppers? I'm going to try it.
All right, we're going down a couple Puppers here, and we're going to go out to the bar.
Actually, it's not bad for a lager.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Go down to the bar. Gonna drink some beers. Okay, let's go drink some beers.
So, they commit suicide when their population gets out of control. While shooting for a film called White Wilderness in 1958, Disney cleverly used edits and angles to deceive the viewer into thinking that they were seeing was a natural lemming migration. The closing
Could you imagine
shot,
just seeing like a fucking horde of the fucking hamsters just running at you? Like we're talking millions of them. It's like, that's a lot. Like how many hamsters do you think you could fight off?
Oh man, now I just pictured them like hanging from trees. Like that's how they kill themselves.
They tie the rope and everything.
Yeah, it's like the fucking the midgets in snow and Yellow Brick Road. I was like, what's that movie called?
Oh, I thought you were laughing because you can't say midgets anymore.
I know. The Wizard of Oz, where the dwarf's supposed to be hanging, which eventually we will do, and that's something that you may want to come on to because Aaron wants to talk about all the crazy shit to do with the Wizard of Oz. Because there's like, they sprayed the Tin Man, and you know the paint they used? It was actually aluminum like paint, and it caused the guy to eventually die. Not on the set, but it led to health complications later. Fun stuff. And the snow in Snow White, just a little tidbit of information before we get into that episode, was asbestos. So.
Oh, fuck. Well, we didn't know. Fuck, we used to fucking put asbestos in every single person's house.
Yeah, I know.
Thinking they're like, here you go. This works.
People used to think vaccines were good now, too. The closing shot of the film shows a lake filled with dead bodies of lemmings, but in reality, the lemmings did not jump to their own death. They were pushed by the Disney crew.
The Disney crew pushed hamsters off a cliff.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can look this up.
I believe you, Tom. I'm just saying, like, I don't really.
Isn't that fucked up?
It's just hamsters.
Because I looked this up.
It's
That's
hamsters.
crazy.
Like, what's the, like, what?
They push them. Oh, man, you got like let the animals live their lives. They want to commit suicide. They're doing it all on their own time.
I'm just saying, like, what do they get out of killing hamsters? Well,
it was supposed to be part of the film because they know that's part of.
So they killed the hamsters on set. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, where's the angle here? Like, what's the purpose of killing them?
Yeah, isn't that fucking crazy? It is crazy.
What year was this?
1958.
Yeah, like they didn't give a fuck about dogs back then. You think they give a shit about
Chinese?
hamsters? Like, yeah, we value my life, and that's a fucking rodent. If that exact same movie came out today with rats, you'd have a total of 5 people outraged.
You know, rats are like super smart too.
They are, and nobody cares because they're rats.
People care.
They're super smart.
Shane cares.
Who's Shane?
From Inquires of Reality. He's like breed rats. He's fun. He was in the Magic Mushroom episode. He's also grown his own mushroom, so he's got to give me his tips and tricks.
Shane, you know there's animals that like are cooler than a rat, right? There's animals that like that will love you.
Rats can love you. They can also get burrowed into your stomach. If you like that fucking mafia technique where they put the thing over the stomach and they heat up the bowl and then the rats will start digging and they'll dig into the dude's stomach. That's a real mafia like way to torture someone. Is that sick? That'll be eventually talked about on the podcast too. I'd love to get into that.
That's cool. Anyways,
in 1948, Disney published a book that they would prefer to remain in the past. The children's book was called Mickey Mouse and the Boy Thursday.
Mickey Mouse and the Boy, that's 12, and I'm going to touch him.
In the book, Mickey finds an African boy depicted as a primitive savage, and worse still, he was delivered in a box of bananas. The story questionably contained the line like, poor little guy, he just makes mistakes. I'll just have to be patient and teach him the right way to do things. Or the white way. Go on, that's funny. Fucking nuts, man. This shit even existed. Mickey even tried to get rid of the boy by giving him to the circus after he caused so much trouble trying to hunt and steal everything in sight.
Oh, okay. We're talking the 50s.
It's 1948.
They still couldn't fucking drink out of water fountains.
I understand that. It just shows that fucking this guy right here, Walt Disney, was in his own racist.
Time. Of course he was. Everybody born in that era was racist. There wasn't one human on this planet. I don't
believe that. Racism is fucking taught by whoever taught people.
Exactly. Everybody taught everybody. It was 1940.
I don't fucking think so. I would have taught my kid to be better. Okay.
Would you have? Would you have when you genuinely believe from growing up from day one, you believe that this
I don't
is the enemy?
see colors, Billy, but that's mostly because I'm colorblind.
Now.
So far.
You're grayer than usual. Yeah.
The book was misguided attempt by Disney for showing racial tolerance. Instead, it was fucking a huge misfire that we should probably forget about, but we will never forget that Disney is fucked. So crazy.
Hashtag
it's like we were just trying to show like racial tolerance. You got to be tolerant of these banana eating monkey people because that's how they portrayed it.
Hey, you know what? If they did that, that's actually super progressive for the time.
It's so racist.
No, you're not wrong, but think about it. That time, like, could you at that time, it wouldn't be unrealistic to say 80% of the entire population wanted to physically kill the other.
I have to look this up right now.
Even my grandpa used to call them fucking porch monkeys.
Well, that's great for your grandpa.
That's what I mean though. Like that was just they didn't know. They were taught and born and raised that way.
Yeah, by who though? Who's
their parents? And it kept going.
All right, I've seen this. He's like a little native boy kind of thing. I might splice this into the video just so people can see.
Oh, they did it on the natives.
But it's like a black. It's like
natives are dark.
He's from Africa. He is from Africa.
Oh, okay, he's an African.
Yeah,
native.
and it's just like I just seen clips of this. If everybody on the audio end, look it up. Because it's like, he's just making so many mistakes. Aw. It's like, Mickey's always mad. Oh, man. Things that Disney did. So crazy. So, that's fun. The connection between Disney and the so-called Illuminati.
Okay, now we're getting interesting. That's cool.
Okay, the connection between Disney and the so-called Illuminati have been something many fans...
Can you read the last line?
It says, eat penis. I don't know what it says. It's so like...
I'm surprised you didn't look that up because there is one more line.
I know. But it says... Because
it looks like that's a full sentence. I see it looks like I and then two letters and then a full word and then a full word.
I looked for this image and obviously on stuff like Google and stuff like that, I even just looked DuckDuckGo. They kind of scrub it clean as they can because...
You want it physically out there.
Yeah, because they're, if you can control the narrative.
Well, it's not really scrubbing clean. It's that's an eye chart. I'm sure that's the way it originally was posted, was blurry as fuck on the last line.
Yeah, on purpose, which it probably says something
super
even
fucked
more
up.
Nefarious than what we think.
It almost looked like, from what I could see, it almost looked like the first two letters says I am.
I know, that's why.
I am.
Yeah,
and then something.
A pedophile.
Yeah. There's two more words.
That too.
There's two more words. You can see a space.
Fucking crazy.
I don't know though.
Who knows? Where is that fuck?
Oh, I just realized when I put my eyebrows down, I look like a caveman. Look at that. I look caveman as fuck.
You are a caveman. Remember?
I can't get my eyebrows back.
I was gonna go live at TikTok for you, but it's too late now.
Who cares?
So we can fucking part 2 to we'll do that.
After you do that once, you can't stop doing it. Do it. Do a caveman. You just put your eyebrows down.
Yeah, I look like a caveman.
Banana.
Is that what they say?
Fire.
Fire. Okay. Can't stop that. Man, can I just I know you don't want to do mushrooms, but can I just do a high dose of mushrooms just to hang out with you?
Sure.
It'd be so fucking fun. You can get wasted and I'll just trip balls.
Sure, I'm down with
I'll
that.
be talking too much though. The connection between Disney and the so-called Illuminati has been something many fans and non-Disney fans alike have been obsessed with over a lot of years,
Dude,
man.
a long time.
Some of the strongest evidence for the tinfoil hat crowd seems to appear in DuckTales cartoon featuring Scrooge McDuck. One of the
I like
scenes,
Scrooge. I like when he jumps into the gold.
Yeah, one of the
breaks his
scenes. Yeah, has that make fucking sense? He swims through the gold. Yeah, you know who loves gold? Never mind. One of the scenes where Scrooge visits a doctor. Yeah, some people that Walt Disney did not like. A doctor regarding an illness that only affects millionaires and bankers. There was an eye chart in the background. That's kind of funny because considering the Illuminati is full of rich people. Mm-hmm. However, from scene to scene, the letters in the eye chart eventually spell out the words, ask about Illuminati. In other DuckTales episodes where Scrooge and his nephews are traveling across the Egyptian desert in search of a lost lamp, the group eventually stumbles upon the top of a pyramid with the symbol of the all-seeing eye, or the all-seeing eye, the Eye of Ra. However, this is more likely a reference to Egypt than the Illuminati.
So actually, can you go back to that picture? I got two things to say about it. One, that's crazy that Zach and Cody's on there because that was a much newer one. That was when I was a kid.
It says the Illuminati on the chalkboard.
And second, that Walt Disney 666 is the biggest stretch fucking ever.
It's not. It's not.
Look at the O, man. The circle over the I is not a fucking 6.
Where's that one image? Give me a second. I'll fucking show you shit.
It's cursive.
Where's that goddamn? There's a. Did I not have it? There's an image in a Disney cartoon, in Mickey Mouse, and there's a coffee cup, and not that one.
I like the bum in the Lion King. I remember that one.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Fuck, where is that? There's fuck. I wish I had that. There's a coffee cup, and it says "Wicked" because if you reflect Disney. It says Wicked or Mickey. It's Mickey. That's what it is. So, and the 666 is on purpose. He put those in his fucking
I understand, but look at the O on the top. That's not a fucking 6. It's literally a 0.
Symbolism, bro. It's everywhere. But I don't know. They're not fucking Disney, but it says Mickey. And if you reverse Mickey, it's Wicked. In the way they usually write Mickey Mouse. And
okay, that's pretty cool.
That I had it.
I thought you were saying Disney reflected the Mickey, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Nice, eh?
Could you imagine getting your fucking your whole franchise based off a fucking mouse?
I know, literally.
Like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool that he did that. I'm kind of on board.
So obviously there's all these depictions of Illuminati where they're trying to influence kids, and there's stuff like this that is quite obviously a fucking dick.
Yeah.
This is we're showing an image of Minnie hugging Mickey, and her dress looks awfully like a penis, and Mickey's hand is on the said penis. Blue balls, anybody? That's fucking obviously a dick. There's no way around it. They're showing symbolism to kids, and the more you see this stuff,
of course, 100%, of
them trying to influence kids with fucking pedophilia. It's all over the place now. It's fucking, it's crazy that they're trying to like indoctrinate kids in that way and make it okay. Like they're trying to really change, I think it's in Scotland. They literally tried to change the word pedophile to, ALA or whatever, like the, adults attracted to adolescence or whatever the fuck it's called. Weird world we live in.
Oh my God. Can we just talk about that fucking for 1 second? That was actually my favorite thing I've ever saw because it was the first time the whole movement backfired on everybody where I can identify as whatever I want when they go, I identify as a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, wait a minute. That's not okay. And it's like, well, no, you set the rules. Those are your rules. Your fucking rules say you can identify whatever you want. And I'm totally cool with that. Whatever. Do whatever you want. But there's a fucking loophole. Someone found it. And now you're mad. Mm-hmm. You got caught and you don't like it as you shouldn't like it. Yeah. But somebody fucking utilize your shit
and
against
the
you.
thing is, like, obviously one of my co-hosts is gay, and I love Anton, but we've had conversations like this many times, and I said that I don't like the LGBTQ plus community as a whole because essentially if you go against it, if you're
that's the
if you're a
difference,
gay
though.
conservative,
That's the difference,
they
though.
will hate on
If
you.
I was mediating anything you said, Anton would be like, "Oh, that's what he meant." Okay. And he'd be totally cool with it. You just don't deliver yourself right.
I don't really care.
You're fucking brutal. You make people think it's different and more aggressive.
I
than
do.
It should
I'm
be.
trying to make people understand, right? Like I
understand you're passionate about it, right?
Yeah, well,
Like,
and
get that.
I want to, like, I'm about to, I want to have a kid soon, right? Once I get married, we're gonna start thinking about having kids and stuff like that. And I would like my kid
You
not.
should not have a kid.
Oh, I'm going to. My kid's gonna be strong as fuck, boy. He's gonna be smart, strong, and not indoctrinated.
I'm gonna out debate him. I'm gonna shove him in the fucking dirt.
yeah.
And I'm gonna chop off his fucking dick.
Yeah, no, thank you. But anyways, is like I got nothing against people as a whole and doing whatever they want in the consensus of two adults. But the thing is, I've said to Anton that I do think that people are hijacking that movement. Because it's a movement, and once you and we've had a conversation. He agrees too. Is that once you have a tribalistic community of like you can't go outside of this structure or you're outcasted. If you're like I've said, there's gay conservatives that have been outcasted. There's people who would go against it. There was a gay dude that represented. I just want to say this quickly because it's I like this video I posted on.
Are you talking about the one about the Teachers Society?
The guy that he gays against groomers.
Oh,
and he
never
went in
mind.
front of the
That's what I'm talking
school.
about.
I had it on one of my
Oh,
political
yeah.
accounts. And he was like,
It's a teacher
anyone that has a
society.
pride flag in their classroom should be arrested. And I was like, good on you, dude, because the flag represents sexual things. That's all it represents. It's sexual, bisexual, trans, gay, lesbian. All that stuff is sexual identities of who you fuck. Or who you love to an extent, which I get, but it's about who you fuck. It really is. It's about sexuality. So it shouldn't be in fucking classrooms. Sorry. And that's my opinion. And if-
Do you ever remember when you got taught sex ed and it was like when we did it was like what, like grade 7?
It's grade
And
6.
I remember, it was grade 6. You're right. Well, grade 6 they introduced it and they brushed over it super quickly and they're like, "Okay, next history."
Yeah.
And then grade 7 they had to dive deep on it.
the condom, putting the condom on the wood dick.
I remember the teacher going like looking back on it now, that dude was so uncomfortable.
Oh, 100%.
He's like, "I don't want to do this."
We had a British teacher teaching us sex ed, and my friend Austin, we could put questions. I always remember this. We put
In a
questions
box. Yeah, in a box and then just answer them anonymously.
And we knew what we knew this obviously, but like he did it as a joke, and we wanted her to say, "Can you get pregnant from bum sex?" Because she said bum sex, and we were like dying laughing. And then this kid in our fucking class thought that you get pregnant through, like, that's where you fucked girls, was in their asshole, and that's how they got pregnant. And then we ridiculed him on the playground, ridiculed him mercilessly.
The poor guy like admitted that that's what he thought happened.
Oh yeah, he's like, what? Because after obviously when the class broke up, we went on recess and stuff like that. He's like, he actually admitted that.
It's fucking annoying. I'm watching. I'm listening. Just trying to also keep my life together.
Fuck your life. Hailed
Bing bong.
hailed as one of Disney's best animated efforts. Weird. The Lion King is also obviously the Mouse House's most notoriously cheeky films. Could you say?
I love that. It's so evident too.
It is for sure. And this is the poster. Worldwide. So in one of the scenes that comes.
Okay. Well, that being said, look, they exaggerated the line on top of the bum. So if you took out that top bum line, it wouldn't look as bad.
I know, I understand that, but like I said, your subconscious picks up on more than you will ever understand. And you might not even realize you're seeing it. So we're showing the poster of the image of the
Lion King.
The Lion King, and it literally looks like
a
chick with her ass out. Fucking fun stuff. But obviously the most prevalent thing when it comes to this theory was not even a theory. It's like just facts, because everyone should know this by now, is that when the melancholy Simba, because he's all sad, he gazes up in the sky. As he lays down with a thud, Simba kicks up a cloud of dust, which appears to spell out the word
sex. Right? Yeah, I remember that one.
Or does it? Now, according to Disney's ex-animator, Tom Sito.
I can't see it from this.
I can. S-E-X. It's this way. Who says the cloud is much more
X,
innocent. It actually says, it doesn't say sex, it says FX. Fuck off. That says sex.
I don't even see the X.
S.
I see the
E. X. It's subtle.
How is that an X?
It's an X, man, right there. And even
There's
he
a plus sign.
No, it's not, because even he admits that's supposed to say FX, like supposed to be special effects.
I see SE. Yeah. I don't see X.
Maybe this is a bad image that I have, but I see the X.
I don't see the X. I see SE.
Billy, all you see is X's.
Yeah, no shit.
Sorry.
Nah, I'm good. That's true.
Isn't this fucking weird? Is that
Pitching
weird?
a tent.
So we're showing an image
with a teddy bear
of Kronk from obviously Emperor's New Groove, which is a fucking funny movie.
I love that fucking movie.
And Kronk is sleeping and he's got a tent just over his dick, which is like, okay, you get morning wood, first of all, too. And then obviously pitching a tent. That's funny. I like it. You know what? If I was making the movie, I would have made that to it and I wouldn't have thought anything of it. I'd been like, there's a funny joke for me. Anyways, well, the bishop in Little Mermaid appears to enjoy himself when he's when he's like doing the wedding, and he's like he's making the wedding official. Okay. He's like enjoying it a little more than he should.
Okay, what did he do?
During the scene in which Prince Eric prepares to marry Vanessa. I did not know that's her name. Is that the Little Mermaid's name? Is Vanessa? That's weird. It appears
to be black or white.
Or is it no? Ariel's her name. Vanessa was the girl he was originally gonna. I haven't seen this movie in a long time. Where he was originally gonna marry, and then he wants Ariel or whatever, right?
And I can't say I've ever watched I don't think I've one time watched a Little Mermaid.
Yo, look at this thing. Isn't it neat? Don't you like to play with your feet? Whatever it says. It's like, I remember that
Foot
shit.
fetish. Yeah. Subliminal.
It used to, it's so weird because like I had this image pulled up for the YouTube, but it is legitimately, he has a fucking boner in the scene. And it's fucking so funny. I can't believe I swear to God I had it. That's so funny. It like, yeah, legit. He has a legitimate boner, in the scene, which is so fucking funny. And, so he's like, dearly beloved, his groin region appears to bulge and inflate. Like during the scene, I've seen the footage. I wish I had it for the YouTube, watchers, but, he literally, like, as he's like saying it, it like slowly starts to creep up and it's like, I don't know.
This is a good wedding.
Yeah, and I don't know how nobody didn't kind of clue in.
Nobody didn't kind of
nobody clued.
Nobody didn't did shit.
Yes, nobody clued into the fact that they were that. I don't know. Watching it after, I'm sure even at this time Walt was, I think, still alive. Maybe no, he wouldn't.
He's frozen. He is still alive.
He is. He's waiting to be fucking.
I hope he. Could you imagine being in that era, getting unthawed, and then seeing like what you see out in the world now?
Yeah, I know.
And then he'd probably just straight up kill himself. He'd be like, "Never mind. Thought this is going to be cooler."
Maybe in all reality, if he was a good guy, and he's like, "What happened to Disney? Everything's gay." It's just like, and the thing is,
oh my God, Kay, don't like that sentence. You did not mean. He did not mean it the way he just said it.
What did I mean?
That's good. You didn't. You meant more or less like he was like, "Oh, I'm going to make my vision my vision." You changed my vision.
I was saying that Walt Disney probably wouldn't like gay people because he already fucking hated Jewish people.
Yeah, I know, but your words were, if he was actually a good guy, he would get rid of the gay.
Oh, yeah,
and I'm like, that's not good. That's not what he meant. I know that's not what you meant.
Yeah, that's a good way to, that's, yeah, I guess I'm saying if he wasn't already a bad guy, but yeah, that would make him a worse guy, yeah, so I digress.
I fixed your mistake, don't worry, but.
Thank you, don't leave a bad review, we have enough. So.
We have enough of that.
Some viewers, it was a sign that this man of the cloth was taking the wrong kind of pleasure in his work. Former animator, of course, Tom Zito, or Zito, whatever fucking Zito, says the bulge is actually one of Bishop's knees. Fuck off, Tom. Okay? Fuck you. All right? You're a fucking lying piece of shit. But this didn't stop one viewer from attempting to sue Disney over the image not being a suitable use for viewing by young children. As a result, Disney was eventually forced to remove the erection in the film. Because it definitely wasn't an erection.
They were forced to remove it. They're like, we want to keep it.
He's like this. And it's just like... it's fucking there, dude.
It's funny.
So... it's crazy because fucking microdosing makes me look either tan or like a tomato because it goes through your nervous system. So my fucking face is flushed.
You're just nervous.
I'm just so nervous. I love talking about children and boners. It is just
it's like you guys can't see what's under the table. We're
see.
fine.
It is just us. Or did the poster of the home video cover of Little Mermaid look a little happy to see us? A little happy to see us, you know? The art depicts the main characters against the backdrop of the Atlantica. Is that what it's called?
Atlantic City.
No, it's Atlantic with an A.
Yeah, it's
Atlantica.
Atlantica, like the castle of Atlantic City.
Which here seems particularly phallic in my opinion.
That right there, like out of all of them, that would have been a funny edit from an editor.
It was simply an innocent accident, not according to long-standing rumor,
somebody did that on purpose.
Which always suggested that ticked off Disney animator inserted penis. This is what it's supposedly.
See, that's what I was saying.
Sacked, after he was fired, he inserted the dick. So like,
how did he get access to everything?
Because he probably knew he was firing him, and then he was like, "Fucker." It's like he's sitting at his desk and they're like, we're going to have to let you go.
I literally just said that.
You've been sniffing all the fucking children's panties. And he's like, fuck. It's like fucking typing on his fucking laptop.
Watch me fucking put dicks everywhere.
It was so crazy.
Y'all ain't even going to know. Whoa, go back? What was that?
Well, we'll get back to that in a second.
Okay.
There's like stuff like this.
The fuck is that?
It's the baby from which we're going to get to right now.
Is that a baby?
Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I never actually watched that. I've heard of it.
It's actually it's okay.
I heard it was
what's his name? Christopher Lloyd, the guy that plays in Back to the Future.
Okay.
He does a creepy like fucking villain.
Okay.
Where he's trying to like destroy all the cartoons and shit. Like, watch it sometimes.
Okay.
Watch on mushrooms. It'd be fun.
No.
Or just get really drunk.
But yeah. Okay,
Since the release of Who Framed Roger Rabbit in 1988, Jessica Rabbit has become one of the most iconic symbols of female sensuality, I would say sexuality, in the world of animation and real life because cosplayers constantly dress up like her. There's 100% a lot of porn of Jessica Rabbit, tons probably. I've definitely seen some cosplays. I've definitely seen.
I've definitely fucking just jerked off a lot.
Yeah.
So it's out there.
No, porn's bad for your brain. It fucking manipulates the serotonin in your head. It's not good. I know that's why Billy's so fucked up. Jessica was initially drawn as one of the most unrealistic, desirable bodies in the world. All curves and obviously slick, like physique. Like she's very, Jessica Rabbit obviously like tucked like hourglass waist, big bazoombas,
huge ass,
huge ass,
no waist.
Yeah, it appears even animators who created the character couldn't resist fantasizing about Mrs. Rabbit, and I'm sure they did while they're fucking got their dicks on their hands on their dicks.
What about Betty Boop?
Betty Boop was also very she was very sexualized and that's a kid's cartoon.
I think she was Betty Boop.
Betty Boop. But I used to watch that at my grandma's house. She because she was old school shit, right?
Yeah.
You pop in the VHS. I used to like it, but she does do a lot of very like sexual stuff. In the scene we showed I think it was for the Halloween live special that I will cut down eventually put on Patreon. It's the one where we've mentioned time and time again where Aaron proceeded to drink a bottle of wine and then a whole 26 of Jack Daniels.
I dipped the fuck out.
Yeah,
of that
Billy left at the perfect point.
I was like, I saw that going downhill. I'm like, you know what? Like I'm loaded when I'm that drunk and I'm like,
It got bad.
This ain't getting good.
It got really bad, and that will go up on Patreon till Billy leaves, and then we're gonna cut it there because it gets problematic.
Yeah, I fucked off pretty quick.
I showed one of the clips or whatever of Betty Boop as we're kind of like a Halloween clip from one of her cartoons, and she like lures in all the cartoon characters with her ass. That's a real. Like,
that's fine. What's the problem?
Whatever.
I don't see the problem.
So yeah, she. We'll get to it right now, but obviously at a point in the film, Jessica crashes out of the cab she's been riding in with Bob.
Oh, she's got a fucking underwear showing.
As seen, she is thrown from the car. Jessica's legs open to reveal more than she would prefer for the public to see. It's basically, obviously in the moment of the film, I guess they're saying it's supposed to kind of be funny, and it was a joke from the animation house.
Okay, you can see her underwear.
But it's super inappropriate because symbolism is everything. Like I said, kids will catch that shit.
You know what's funny is her whole dress looks like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
kind of weird,
symbols. Which we'll get to later because it goes deeper than you think.
Weird.
So fucking weird. That's also a bunch of weird shit. You know, they add in a bunch of weird things within these movies. Obviously, people backing up on Aladdin. Aladdin goes to a brothel.
It's like back it up.
You know, just everyday things. Naked guys on bear fucking posters.
Yeah. Well, we have naked bears on guy posters.
Do we though?
Yeah.
Do we though? And then I was going to say about the Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right? You have like the baby. He smokes cigars. He's an adult, but he's like a baby, I guess.
He's Benjamin Button.
Yeah, kind of thing. And he's like very kind of perverted and misogynistic. And
can I tell you, I saw a TikTok the other day. You'll laugh about this. Super relatable. Okay. It was a girl who had a weird disease where she stopped growing after like 7, but she was a 26-year-old female. And then she only she's only like, fucking like, she had the body of a 7-year-old.
Okay.
And she was a 26-year-old woman. And it was like, this poor young girl is, or this poor, powerful, wait a minute. Let me finish it. She's like, this poor girl, the whole news article started like, this poor girl's like trying to show her independence. She's bartending and shit on step stools. And she's like, yeah, I'm a full fucking adult. Like, I know what you're saying. I just look like a 7-year-old. And then the guy marries her, and like the entire comment section of that video was fucked. There were millions of comments going, bro found a loophole. And I'm like, oh my God.
I heard about that. There's In the Six, a great Instagram, but they show all sides of like news and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You would like this.
Fucking killed me. That comment section.
Comment section was the same thing, but it's just like a lot of people were like, does she not deserve love? Like, you know what I mean? Like that.
Well, she does, but like at the same time, it is funny that's, you know what? There's a very good chance they're not wrong.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance he did find a loophole.
It's true.
And he's like, you know what? You're of age and I like this. So like, this is going to keep me from doing it to other people. Yeah. And I'm a sick motherfucker, but maybe he's not like that. Maybe
do you not have a midget fetish? I would fuck a midget. I will openly say that. If
midgets are different than what this girl had. This girl
looks like
literally looked like a 7-year-old. She was
just like a dwarf. So
no. She had something weird where, like, once she got to 7, her entire facial structure, everything, like, it stopped developing.
Oh, like Japanese people.
Her face, Jesus Christ, her face, everything. Like, she looked like if you saw her on the street, you would think that was a child. It wasn't a dwarf. You would think that was a child.
Yeah, that is weird. This guy's like, yeah,
and he's like, I'm hitting on her. Must have saw her bartending.
Does she deserve
what's
love
going on?
Or not, man?
She does, but to be fair, you know what? Look, everyone's fucked up in their own way. He got what he wanted, whether it's for the right or the wrong reasons. Fuck it. Let him have it.
Fucking weird.
She's of age. Leave him alone.
So, yes, perhaps, you know, even more so than a parent company, Disney's Pixar has a history of innuendos.
I love the lamp. I like the lamp in Pixar.
Oh, that squishes the thing.
Yeah, he squishes the eye, and he's the new eye. He goes.
The fuck is that, huh?
Monsters Inc.
Huh?
Oh, Jesus, Uncle Roger and Mommy.
Yeah. People claim that this was edited in after, but I call bullshit.
Well, I got a fucking tape of Monsters Inc. I can fact check all this. I have a VHS and I have
Monsters
a fucking...
Inc. has a poster, and it's if it's real, it'd be crazy. But if it's just added in, that's also very funny. And it's like a stick figure, like fucking a chick with like little boobies. They're both stick figures, and it says Uncle Roger and Mommy, and it's just like that. What's her name? Boo walked in, her mom fucking her uncle. Nice, you know. It's a lot of weird shit in Disney like this. Why is the rabbit all up in Bambi's ass? Huh? Why?
He's biting her leg.
This is Charlie with my cat. Charlie loves licking my cat's ass. I'm like, can you fucking stop it? It's like every time a chance he can get, he's like, like fucking, dude, it's like a chocolate sundae for him.
Dude, Chloe licks her own fucking ass so aggressively, it's disgusting.
So obviously, let's get into this. So,
no, you don't like that?
No, fuck
no. She'll sit on the couch and the noises that come out of her mouth.
And then Billy's like, I'm trying to jerk off, man.
She's sitting there like,
perhaps,
what are you doing?
So let's talk about Pixar. Obviously, they have weird innuendos, just for obviously the adults in the room. Like, that's great. That had fucking weird jokes in a kids movie. 1995.
This is in the Twin Towers.
Very first Toy Story.
Not when I make jokes like
Specifically, one of the characters in the bully Sid's bedroom, among Sid's toys, all these nightmarish mashup of toys he's dissected and put back together, is a very puntastic monstrosity.
Ooh, puntastic. Yeah, these are funny. The
with
legs,
spider babies, and a car that walks, and G.I. Joe's head glued on to a melody.
Those things gave me nightmares the first time I watched
it. Legs is christened by Woody. Because he calls her legs.
Yeah, she's a hooker.
Yeah, she's a hooker. She's a pair of Barbie legs with a fishing rod for a body that would make legs a walking hooker, which isn't subtle, but damn, does it get the job done as a visual gag aimed for strictly adults. And I never even got that, to be honest.
Oh my God, what?
Which is so fucking fun.
I don't get the other two if there's anything behind it, but I get that one.
I remember that duck thing. It was creepy. That whole scene
shit's creepy as fuck.
And they're like, essentially, when they come out, you think they're bad, and they're like, no, we're just fucking fucked up. Like, it's just like... we want to be toys. I guess we're kind of toys, but because that scene, because they all are scared, and it's like they help them, and they're like, "Oh, you're not so scary." So it's like, yeah, you can look in this teaching kids, you can look really scary and still be nice, and then they're trapped in a van somewhere.
Candy. Want some candy?
Candy. We all wonder about, when we're kids, just who are those sexy women who obviously, like just want to ladder.
In your area.
In the introduction scene, we're all adults now, so let's not beat around the bush. Those women are prostitutes. When we talk about the brothel, which leads up to the next question, how do prostitutes know Aladdin so well? And why are they, why are they...
Because he's there every day.
Yeah. Why do they push the poor chap out the window?
Because he didn't pay.
Yeah. Aladdin has paid visits to the House of Vice before. Getting to know these girls pretty well in his time. Maybe they wanted him gone because he couldn't afford the services, as Billy just said.
I nailed it.
So crazy, man. All this stuff, man. And this is another one, too, I was just talking about, is the Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the child actor, Baby Herman, is not, safe to say, is not as innocent as he looks. Baby Herman...
Yeah,
is not a baby at all. Actually, he's a middle-aged toon who has a gravelly voice, likes to taste the cigars,
you know what,
and an eye for the ladies. In his own words, Herman has a 50-year-old lust for a 3-year-old dinky, is literally what he says.
You know what he grew up to be after Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Guaranteed.
Who
looks like him in a cartoon that came out much more recently than that movie?
I don't know. Macaulay Culkin?
No, he grew up to be that fucking green monster from Space Jam.
Oh, that's kind of funny. And this
that's 100% exactly where they got that from. Guaranteed. What do you mean? That's exactly what it was.
So
no, you don't like that.
I can see.
It's 100% that. It's gotta be.
I can see.
He's like, who the fuck is
Space Jam
Michael
wasn't-
Jordan?
Space Jam wasn't from Disney, was it?
No, but I'm saying they ripped it off.
But yeah, he says this in the film. I'm a 50-year-old lust and a 3-year-old dinky. He says that in the kids' film. He has the lust of a 50-year-old, but he has a 3-year-old dinky, so his dick's tiny, but he still wants to fuck. Yeah. Still, Herman's shortcomings don't stop him from acting like a borderline sexual predator all through the film. In the time before #MeToo, a movement began in one scene for the theatrical cut of Roger Rabbit. Herman can be seen peeking and more discreetly poking up a woman's skirt is the image that we're showing. So yeah. Everyone should be believed to an extent.
It's fair.
So I also want to show a couple of images just for the YouTube of stuff that I found. Smoke. Clearly spells out smoke. It's an image of Geppetto praying for his fucking son that he can rape, and in the stars,
his son that he can rape.
It supposedly says smoke. There's weird things like when I rewatched.
Did somebody? I feel like somebody put in those red letters.
Yeah, they did. That's not from the film.
Oh, okay. Then where are the stars? I don't even see it.
This star. This is a stretch. I just thought
there's not even that. There's just one on the left.
This one. No, you can't see it because they've used these stupid red lines, and it's so faint that's like This one is 100% a stretch, and that's why I put it in there because I thought it was funny.
Okay,
but who knows with
like that would have been fucking hilarious if they put it in with the red lines.
And check this out. Check that one.
Lemon party equals old man sex.
I added that in, but
I'm like, there's no fucking
so
way.
In the movie Cars,
yeah,
they have a lemon party. There's lemons everywhere. Okay, and if you Google lemon party,
I know what lemon party is.
Have you been to one?
Did you grow up in grade school where they told you to type lemon party into the fucking chat?
I remember that.
Oh my God. I remember that since grade 6. That lemon party was big at the exact same time Blue Waffle was.
I didn't look at that either. I was like, I'm like late to the party, bro. I was also older, so we didn't have those. I don't know if like
I was in like grade 6. You were in grade 9. 100% people were fucking Googling that shit.
I was like grade 9.
Like
I don't know.
You were 100% Googling.
I was too busy fucking doing meth and snorting coke off strippers' asses. Okay,
yeah.
I grew up rough.
They all let the fucking grade 9s in there to do that.
But that was weird. Okay, when I saw that, I was like, "That's fucking strange." That in the car film, they have like the lemon party, and then it's just like it must be a joke.
If you typed lemon party back then, the first thing that would happen is it would just be pulled to a screen, and it would just be this fucking ridiculously obese man just windmilling his dick. And that is what you'd see the second you typed lemon party and opened up first fucking.
I miss the good old days.
Yeah, nothing was censored. It was fucked.
Nice.
You can put anything on the fucking internet. So everybody's worst fucking desires. Kids will never know. They will never know what uncensored material was. It was fucks.
they say it was like the wild, wild west. So
good luck finding a video of 2 girls, 1 cup anymore. Everyone says this chocolate pudding.
Anton keeps saying that shit.
Is it though? Do you know?
All right. So, and then obviously you have Miss Piggy confesses in the film. When we're talking about Miss Piggy, obviously you know who Miss Piggy is. She doesn't.
It's fucking Miss Piggy.
Yeah, 100%. She never hid her love for the opposite sex, it is kind of funny.
Yeah, Miss Piggy's a slut.
She is. Nothing this pioneer has said or done, however, compares to her inspiring work in the Muppet Treasure Island. Okay. In this puppet-based classic, weird word to say, Miss Piggy kind of subtly implies that has had sex with not one but 2 legends of the pirate world. The first conquest Miss Piggy confesses to in the film is one of Captain Flint with a bold, feisty, "He was a pirate, I was a lady. You know the story." I can't do her voice, but that's kind of close.
Pretty good. Close enough.
Miss Piggy then says that she also, when she's greeting Tim Curry's Long John Silver, she says, "Hello, Long." Long John. Like this, like long, like he's got a, and then
He's
winks.
got a long John.
And then she links, and then Kermit.
links?
You know what? She winks. You know what?
I know what you meant.
Did I say? What did I say?
Links.
Jesus. And then Kermit.
Well, that's what I was thinking of. That's a cat. A link, not a lemon.
yeah, right. And then Kermit says, "Oh no, me too." Fucking, I don't know.
Hashtag.
These puppets are,
No.
yeah, they're crazy. They be crazy. And so in 1933, okay, so before we get into Walt's Nazism,
Okay. Fuck, why do you got a giant knife here?
oh yeah, I'm
This
fucking
thing's
got time.
fucking massive.
Fucking open it up. I have weapons everywhere.
Damn, it's big.
I say, I love that knife. Sick. It's almost
One like and I will stab Tom. Just
Oh,
one.
I found it. Look. Mickey, Wicked. It says it, and this isn't a fucking.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. You are
You are blind to this.
Oh.
Is what it says. They're indoctrinating a whole generation of fucking kids, man. So it's what they're doing. You know, it takes brainwashing one generation to change the whole structure of the world. One generation to fully brainwash them, and the whole world will change. It only takes one generation to do that too, and it will fucking change the whole world and flip it on its head. Just so you know. So when we're like, obviously you have like weird innuendos like this, where
What was the one on the right?
so when the one skunk in what movie is this? He gets kissed. The Fox and the
Happy?
Hound. The Fox and the
Oh,
Hound.
the Fox and the Hound.
And he gets kissed, and and this happened in other
stands
Disney
straight
movies
up.
where he like stands straight up, like he's hard.
Yeah.
That's happened. There's lots of symbolism in Disney films, and then you obviously have the Rescuers, where they show the scene of the chick with the tits, and this is like real. Some animator put this in. Of as the rescuers are flying through the air.
That's amazing. You would never would have fucking saw
Whoever
that.
found that is like I don't know.
They're trying to find something. Like, there's no way.
Whoever found that's nuts. That they actually like dug through the film enough where they like found because you would have saw it and you would have been like, yeah, maybe someone awake, maybe he's on mushrooms, who knows? And he's like, that's fucking weird. What was that? And then like you're watching with the kids and you just pick it up where you're like, what was that thing in the background?
To be fair, I notice stuff like that every now and again too, like where you will see it go so fast, you're like, yo, rewind. And everyone's 99% of the time you were wrong as to what you thought you saw, but you're like, I need to look at that one more time. Like, that looks insane.
And it's crazy. And they're saying it was a blunder or whatever, like, but that is fucking weird that they have they had titty picture. They get a fucking it looks like a porno magazine almost. It does look like a kind of.
Again,
I wonder who
we're
the
talking
chick
the
was.
40s and 50s.
I wonder who the chick was though. I wonder who were you, mystery lady? Were you making good money,
Mr. Lady?
I said mystery.
Mr. Lady?
Yeah, that's what everyone is nowadays.
Are you a Mr. or a lady?
We can't tell no more, or we can't say at least.
Okay, well, you didn't need to elaborate. Carry on.
So let's get into Walt Disney. Let's get into this.
What's going on with Mr. Diz?
So
Diz, my boy.
In 1933, there was a far right party known as the German American Bund, B-U-N-D. Weird.
Bund, I guess.
Who admired and
Bund.
highlighted the
Bund.
rising power of the Third Reich in Germany. The Bund called themselves the Friends of the German.
Is it the Bund?
Their entire purpose was to push the National Socialist agenda to the American public and obviously make as many and infiltrate as many political parties and organizations as possible. According to one of Walt Disney's animators, Art Babbitt, being of Germanic descent, his employer had deep interest in the activities and fascist ideologies of the Bund. Babbitt claims that Disney attended a lot of the meetings with his friends and lawyer Gunther Lessing. In addition, Disney is said to have admired and wanted to work with the German filmmaker Lena Reinfeldstach. I'm not going to pronounce this.
You did fuck. If you just pretended like that was exactly how you said it, I would have fully believed you.
Reinfeldstach. Close enough.
enough.
Whose documentaries function as propaganda for the Third Reich and the Führer. Well, I didn't mean to do that. Most recently, every time I say Fuhrer, I want to be like, but
it's it's in the blood. You got to like hold it down.
more recently, Walt Disney's grand niece and film producer Abigail Disney confirmed that her uncle was an anti-Semite, misogynist, and racist after the actress Meryl Streep criticized Disney at an award ceremony that was meant to celebrate Emma Thompson's performance in Saving Mr. Banks. And then, I don't like Meryl Streep. I think she's fucked. But hey, at least she called this guy out because he, in my opinion, it was in his cartoons. And even though, and they're like, oh, he was making fun of it.
When was World War II?
1939 to 1945.
It's like great when he's making these movies. He was just like on Hitler's side.
Yeah, he was, which is fucking crazy. And people don't know. Well, people know this to an extent. That's why there's always jokes. If he were to, and people joke that he's like, he died at the right time.
You know what? Okay, it wouldn't be strange, Brew, if we didn't ask the questions. But here's a question. Okay, look, like we all know what the Holocaust was. We all know how ridiculously absurd that was. Now, in its time, how many people would have been like, oh, no, he's not doing it for the reasons you think he's doing it for?
They didn't know. That is the problem, right? Of why there's Holocaust deniers, because it is people that are neo-Nazis, Nazis that claim that, oh, they were actually treated better than what was perceived. They were actually fed and taken care of.
Why were they there in the first place?
But that wasn't the case.
To be fair, no, of course not. But like that being said, like, okay, let's rewind past that though. Yeah. But anyways, who's to say in that time it's like, look, like there was, let's say, okay, who's to say back then, and all this history hasn't been suppressed, that exact same thing, but it was like the world leaders, like the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, and like they finally found somebody to stand up and a whole country to stand up against them, and they killed their people that were doing fucked up shit. Yeah. That were like, there
is conspiracy.
Who's to fucking say that wasn't the way it was, and we suppressed the fuck out of it because he did a terrible fucking thing.
There's conspiracy theories, right?
And I'm not defending this, by the way.
We had actually someone on the podcast.
I'm just asking.
Not going to name him. We made jokes about him on prior episodes, but one time, I think if you can weed through it, you might understand who, to an extent. You might not even know. But he's on one episode. Okay, just carry on. But anyways, he got into this thing with me and Anton about like, oh, maybe we're not like being told the truth. And he started like coming out as like, he gets a flat earth, and then flat earth kind of for some reason leads to Nazism a lot of times.
Okay.
And how like the Nazis were like the good guys, and that Hitler was trying to, like what fucking now Kanye is doing is like that they were actually he was trying to get rid of the control of the Zionist Jews that are on top of everything, right? And to an extent, in some of the stuff Kanye said is not necessarily not true, that there is a lot of Jewish people that run organizations, but that doesn't mean that they're fucking evil or that they're connected to the reptilians or whatever people want to claim David Icke is saying. But it is the idea that like that he was trying to suppress some of the stuff, but at the same time, he was killing people. There was proof. People that didn't know anything to do with these top tier people. There is people that are in banking and industry and control the world that are not Jewish.
Now who's to say they were there in the 40s and as prevalent in the 40s as they are now?
Yeah,
they might not have been. They might have took over those spots.
Yeah,
and also you're not going to get to those high level people. It feels weird. I feel like I'm fucking defending Hitler right now.
No.
Anyways,
I get what you're saying,
but like, who's to say that in that time it's like, look, like I can't physically get to these people, so I'm just going to try to lure them out. I'm going to kill all of your people until you fucking show your face.
And that's a weird way to. I actually kind of like how you're saying,
weird?
because it is I
feel like we're defending Hitler, and I don't like where this is going.
I fucking hate that fascist.
But like, just who's to say?
But I'm saying that at the time, people didn't necessarily know what was going on, and that's like a fact that they did. Like that, the soldiers didn't want to acknowledge, like the German soldiers specifically, didn't want to acknowledge or understand what they were doing to Jewish Jewish people while the war was going on because they were fighting. They didn't know what was going on. And then when the soldiers took over and they found things like Auschwitz and all the other concentration camps, the Ravenscroft and all these places, they started to like figure out like, oh, wow, they were doing shit that we didn't even know they were doing. And that's why I'll eventually lead up our episode with Joseph Mengele, because we've done evil Nazis, we've done the Jewish hunter, the guy that hunted down all the Nazis, the Nazi hunter, the Jewish hunter, that's Hitler. And I eventually want to talk about Joseph Mengele as a whole, because he was the one that was doing all those crazy experiments. Like I always joke about the whole thing of like he'd cut off a fucking twin's dick to see if the other twin felt it. Like weird shit like that. It's not to the extent, but like, and the thing is, that's why
it might have been
conspiracy theories conspire, right? And like, and I don't even like the word conspiracy theory because a lot of like left wing and people say this stuff where I'm not even on any wing, but it's this whole thing of conspiracy literally just means two or more people conspiring against another group of people. That's the definition. So in this world, that happens daily. Hourly, all the time, minutes, every minute there's someone fucking trying to do that to somebody else. So it's fucked. We live in a fucked up world. And it's
just weird. It's weird that just to bring it back to the point though, it's weird to think like that
they wouldn't
very well could be the case. Like we literally could be living like honestly, and like I'm not saying I personally believe it, but like we theoretically could be living in an entire world where that could have been the right thing to do.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm not saying the way he did it was right. I'm saying like that whole like ideology of like what he was trying to do. It could have very well been. I really
wish I had that the Kanye quote,
which is crazy. That guy's going like, nuts for sure. He's fucking losing his mind.
I actually up to the point where he was like, you know, everyone does whatever he said about like, oh, you know, especially like there's some people out there that may be good or whatever. He's like, especially Nazis, and I liked what he was doing up until that point because. It seems like, bro, have you ever looked in a history book? Because I've read books that are against the narrative and stuff like that of what's really going on. And our history is lies.
Well, history is only written by the winner.
But at the same time, we know that history. You can the Greeks, the Romans, all the prior history, the medieval times, whatever you want to go back to.
That's history like that our grandfathers like lived.
Yeah, and you can rewrite that shit easily. But the stuff from World War I and World War II, it's documented fairly well. And there's people on both sides that documented this. Yeah. And there was German soldiers that felt ashamed of what they didn't realize what they were doing. Yeah. And they saw it afterwards and like, fuck. Deny.
Yeah, that never happened.
And that's why nowadays you have these like, and I like this point. David Icke brought this up in his new talk on London Real, which was fucking great. But he said like this whole thing of like a Holocaust denier resonates with people. It's evil. It's bad. You can't deny the Holocaust. So now they use it for climate denier, climate change denier, fucking vaccine denier, whatever. They use that denier word because it resonates now with the social consciousness. And people be like, that guy's bad because he's denying that this shit exists. Right? They've said, I just want to make the one point about climate change. They've said the world's going to end every fucking 10 years. They've said this over and over and over and over and over again. It's never happened. Fuck off. Okay, fuck you and your fucking climate agenda.
Well, sounds like I can fucking retire at 40 and I'm still going to be fine.
Yeah, unless Putin bombs everybody, but at the same time, there's people believe that Putin is fighting against NATO, and NATO is bad. Either way you want to slice it, NATO is a fucking corrupt ass organization, agenda pushing. This will be out for a rant episode.
Anyways, carry on.
More recently, Walt Disney, she said his grandniece sounds like. I was like, it sounds like a KKK organization, the Grand Wizard. But she said that her fucking father probably was that. And Walt Disney has accomplished numerous of truly amazing feats when it comes to deceiving people, seeming to providing exciting yet wholesome entertainment while delivering witchcraft and occult mind-altering control into their homes. And that's why I wore my Alistair Crowley shirt, because it is that he has brainwashed people.
Podcast shirt.
But
I'm just teasing.
I know it is. It has lost a lot of it. But Disney has been able to achieve this by skillfully creating characters, screenplays, and plots that carefully crafted to lead people to think along certain lines, using powerful symbology and symbolism in messages within film, imagery, symbolism, occult, witchcraft, paganism, Illuminati, Masonic, sexual, and other satanic origins. Everything's been manipulated. Yeah. The board borders separating good and evil are blurred often and are, subtly and overtly made to seem evil, boring, or just plain wrong, which evil is presented as good or somehow interesting, fascinating, and they actually glamorize it, making it exciting and desirable. To an extent, you have Maleficent, which I think those films are not bad. But Angelina Jolie is someone who definitely drinks adrenochrome and does horrible things to kids, all those kids that she owns, that she got. I really care about fucking kids from other countries. I'm going to adopt all these kids so I can drink their fucking blood. My opinion. But I don't like Angelina Jolie. But like that whole thing of like Maleficent was supposed to be this evil witch in the original, whatever movie where the chick pricks her finger and then she falls asleep.
She's got diabetes.
Sleeping Beauty. That whole thing is fucking weird because she was supposed to be the evil witch. And then they explain it later on where she was actually not that evil and she was doing it because of this. And they've done that so many times in Disney movies where they're like, let's dive into how many times have they taken the villain and then made and portrayed them as a good person. As much as I did really like, and it sounds fucking bad, but I didn't mind, the movie about, the 101 Dalmatians. What's the chick's name?
Cruella de Vil.
Yeah. Where they made a whole movie about how she's like, she's actually not as bad as you think.
She just loves dogs.
And she kills them all. And it shows how she leads to kill them. Why are you telling that story? That's a weird thing to do. Yeah, like, do you agree at all? Because isn't that weird to take the villain and be like, oh, this is why they are evil? Like, if it's a horror movie, sure.
That's the difference. Like, it's the difference between why they are evil and are they actually evil? Meaning, like, it kind of symbolizes, like, anything in real life. Like, you, personally, you, myself, everyone you know, there is somebody that talks about them like they're the worst fucking person on the earth.
100%.
Like, you don't know me. Like, you heard one thing I said, and you went, oh, that fucking guy. And it's like, and me specifically, because I say a lot of shit. But, like, there's not one person that will, like, sit there, hang out with me, and be like, oh, like, there's not one person that you can tell your whole story to that'd be like, oh, you're a bad person.
You know what song I've taken from mushroom trips too? Is I've realized with the use of mushrooms, the impact that I've had on other people. Through my teenagers.
Wow, that's an impressive fucking realization. I've only been telling you that for 4 years.
I know. But the thing is, you can say that, but it has to take my own realization of that the people that I influence in women and stuff like that when I was growing up as a teenager with really bad mental health, that affected people in really negative ways. Yeah. And that you always got to think of what character do you play in other people's lives? And I was talking this about
I've been a fucking, my name is touchy in a lot of people's lives.
That's what I'm saying. Sure. I talk about this with one of my buddies. I grew up a Christian. I grew up with this kid and I was like, it is weird that I played a villain in a lot of people's lives when I was a teenager when I had bad mental health and stuff like that. And one thing I did think about my recent trips,
not even just that.
Like, what am I leaving here? What am I leaving here? This shit. This is what I'm leaving here. My knowledge. Anyways, it's fucking weird. All this stuff's weird because I just thought about that now. Why I don't get why they have to like. And as much as I enjoy those movies to an extent, because it's just cinema and entertainment, but why are they glorifying villains? We glorify serial killers, but we're not because we're telling them how fucked up they are.
Yeah, okay, it's a little fucked up to be like, this is why, because somebody did this to me. It's like, well, you should have fucking grown up and realized that you shouldn't do that to other people. Anal beads, fucking A.
Is that weird?
Anyways,
that's what I forgot to show.
Yeah, that's...
this quickly, I pull up the image of the mouses from Cinderella, and they're like playing around with like they're fixing her costume or whatever, or they're dressing, getting it ready. And this is 100% from the film. Is that the one mouse is pulling?
Like you can see the stretch marks and everything. Like like that's 100% coming. It's not under him. That's out of his ass. This is the last
symbolism I'm going to show.
Tangled.
Sex. It's always sex.
Oh it's my weird, God, that's such
You can see it. You can see it right there. I don't know.
I don't think there's one way I could wrap rope around somebody that they couldn't physically write the word sex.
That whole movie Tangled has weird shit in it too. Fucking crazy. So obviously Disney has taken dark fairy tales, which we talked about too. You can go back and listen to the true origins fairy tale stuff that we did. That was fairly fun. Fables, legends, I know, and stories from all over the world, and applying various themes and places, nature, animals, characters, both real and fantasy, along with appealing to the music industry and lyrics, obviously, and music, and creatively manipulating and packaging them, you know, cater to their evil agenda. Many of these fairy stories are quite dark anyway, but Disney has cultivated the expertise to make them even darker.
Speaking about making the villain the hero,
yes,
fairy stories,
they're fucked too.
You can get it. Never mind.
What?
Never mind. Just carry on. It was not
ingenuously
not
disguised as
anyway.
a wholesome family entertainment. Colorful witches and wizards abound in Disney productions.
Colorful.
Yes. From Queen Grimhild in the first Disney film Snow White in 1938, though Madame Mim in Sword in the Stone, Cruella de Vil in 101 Dalmatians, to the 2014 film dedicated the life story of the Witch of Maleficent, which I literally just talked about.
Okay.
Even in Disney's Little Mermaid, Ariel signs a contract with the evil witch Ursula, or does she sell her soul in exchange for being a human so she can marry her prince? It is fucking weird. All of this stuff has deep occultism into it. So obviously there's a plethora of demonic pagan gods. I was going to ask you not to check.
I was just looking.
There's a plethora of demonic pagan gods and temples.
Pagan gods.
Pagan gods.
I know. You said pagan.
Obviously with some impressive imagery. Time and time again, the hero and heroine has seen to visit them and to consult them and, you know, console them. Maybe. But obviously you have God in the Bible is almost always missing from the equation. There's no like, because it's going to biblical stuff, but essentially there's no like kind of good thing swaying them. They have to kind of be good on their own, which makes sense to an example. But for example, in the true story of Pocahontas, converted to Christianity, yet in the Disney movie, she visits a temple to consult with the demonic pagan nature gods and goddesses, which is weird because I only took this. I looked up a bunch of dark shit about Disney, and essentially this goes towards the religious aspect of Disney because, because fucking Christianity, Christians, Catholics, all their shit is taken from pagan symbolism and pagan holidays. Christmas is a pagan holiday. Easter is a pagan holiday.
Don't you talk about Christmas that way.
Everything is a pagan holiday.
Not what Christmas is.
And obviously it's full of, there's all these movies and you know, Fantasia is full of demonic imagery and fucking Jesus Christ.
Mythology.
No, mythological creatures.
Oh.
In this cartoon, the third that Disney made in its sequel, even good beings are depicted as creatures connected with mythology, which in fact is demonology, such as centaurs, aka centaurs and fawns,
cool.
half goat, half human. Like go back to our
I love
goat
how you
episode.
said half hoe.
Half hoe.
Half hoe, half human.
Half human, half goat. Creatures, actually a representation of the god Pan, which is actually the devil, supposedly. But at the same time, how do we know the devil's that bad? He offered them the fucking fruit of the tree of knowledge. It's like God's like, don't touch that. You'll realize that you're locked in a fucking garden that you have to tend for me because I have questions for the Bible. But there's no mention of the God creator. So there's all these symbolism. Mulan has a guardian, which is a red dragon. A red dragon. All right, thus leading the adults and children to believe that is Satan, who is portrayed as the red dragon in the Bible, will guard and help and protect them rather than destroy them.
I guess a lot of information jam-packed. Jesus.
Oh, yeah, I know. In Aladdin, the song "A Whole New World" is connection to the New World Order.
Other people that I don't like.
Aladdin wants to take the princess away with him and sings, "I can open your eyes. I can take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magical carpet ride, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one tells us no or where to go or say we're only dreaming." So he's telling her, we're gonna, I'm
gonna take you in the back of my van, and we're gonna go to this goddamn.
Shall be the whole of the law.
Yeah.
Do what thou wilt. Shall be the whole of the law.
Yeah.
Disney's Magical Kingdom. In fact, in line with the devil's compulsion to intimidate and make fun of God. A satanic counterfeit of God's kingdom. I don't necessarily believe in all this shit, but I thought it was funny.
It's getting a little,
It's fun. Far from being.
I'm curious to know like that line though, where you believe it and you don't, and I don't know what.
So I've built my own structure. If you listen to the
understand
show
that
carefully, of what I've read books, I've looked into a lot of stuff, and I take my own opinion. That's why I don't align with any. I don't align with.
You take David Icke's opinion.
I like David Icke. I don't believe every single thing he says, but everything he has called out so many things when it comes to what's going on. It's incredible.
I believe you believe everything he says.
You have you listened to his latest London Reel? Because he was correct about all the shit that he said.
I'm not saying he was wrong. I'm just saying I believe you believe everything he says.
I don't believe every fucking thing he says. I think that he, like I do, forms an opinion based on something, says that this is the possibilities of what could happen, and then he might be right like 60, 70% of the time.
When did you become structured?
I'm getting better. Mushrooms have changed me.
Damn, this is weird. I don't like this.
It's changed my life.
I don't want to be friends anymore.
Reptilians control everything, and you're fucking dumb if you don't
don't like
believe
this. You're becoming structured. This is weird.
Do you have to pee?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm just antsy.
Okay.
I just get antsy sometimes.
We're going to end this on a fun note.
What's the fun note?
Fucking good old Freemasons. But
oh, cool.
So,
all right, what's about the Freemasons?
But let's just quickly say that, obviously you have all these Disney films connected with fucking Satan, quotations, especially Let It Go. The message gives it to children that they should not be afraid to be themselves and never apologize for who they are, which seems fine, but only Elsa did almost kill her sister. Then, with the help of her parents, I don't even really remember.
Let it go. Yeah, that is not the right.
Let it go.
That's no.
Let it go.
It's not the right sentence for that. The sentence is like you said. Let it go means they should be themselves and do that. Let it go means suppress everything that everyone's ever done to you and just fuck off. Which honestly is actually really good advice, in my opinion.
Who the fuck is in this shit? Yo, I don't know who you are, but yo, what's up? I did not know. The government is doing all kinds of shit like that. You're fucking 100% right. Yeah, they use fucking... So we have someone popping into the Twitch chat. The U.S. uses electromagnetic energy weapons to manipulate people since the 70s. And not gonna lie, they have sonic weapons and they have shit that I believe that we have no idea.
Which I love to, and that's my favorite line ever. And I've probably said this like 15 times, where you're like, they're taking away. You've talked about like the fact that we're taking away guns and shit, right? We've talked about that on here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
they're gonna leave people defenseless.
what is it? A gun's not going to defend you, buddy.
You can say they're going to bomb us. They need us. They need us to keep the structure going.
I understand, but at the end of the day, you got a guy with a gun. You can sacrifice 7 of your own fucking men to kill that dude. That's ready to fight you.
You have to understand, right? You have to understand, right? Top 1%. 1% of the entire population controls everything, right? So if you have the not even fucking 40% of those people, it is too much for cops to handle, even the military. And the military, people that are fighting for their country, right? To fight for the values and the freedoms of your country are going to turn their backs on the citizens. Some may. That's very true because they've been brainwashed in fucking lots of ways. Breaking down.
Anyways, I think I just triggered something. Anyways, carry on.
This is going to be for some fun Patreon stuff.
I triggered something.
But obviously, even in the hugely successful Pirates of the Caribbean movies, Disney has presented pirates who are in reality thieves, plunderers, and murderers and rapists, and they've glamorized them for children, and they want to diddle them. They want to be the same. They want to intimidate, or not intimidate.
Diddle.
They want to emulate that same character. Which I actually like the fucking Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And now Johnny Depp can't be in the new one. He's a stupid Amber Turd.
I do such a good fucking pirate. Oh my god! You know what I didn't realize though? You know why he walks like that? Like that?
He's drunk as fuck.
No, he's not. Oh my god! He's a pirate. Have you ever been on a boat?
Oh,
Shit's
yeah,
fucked.
yes.
You're trying to catch your balance
And he's
24/7.
always drunk then. So if you're always drunk and you're always on a boat, then once you got off the boat, you would think that you were like...
You're like, I gotta catch my balance. Like, you're just like, I walk really
That's
good.
so fucking
And like,
funny.
that's why he walks weird. Like, that's funny as fuck.
Stepped on a bee.
I stepped on a bee.
fucking-
Stepped on a bee. I love how people remix that. The internet's a funny fucking place.
It is. It was a lot funnier in the fucking early 2000s, the E-bombs world. Lots of fucked up shit.
Yeah,
Rock.com.
Vines are great.
Walt Disney himself was adopted from an abusive home and lost his adoptive mother when she died from asphyxiation due to the faulty workmanship in the house and that he had brought her to. It's really well.
He died of asphyxiation from faulty workmanship. How so?
So
they air sealed the house too good.
I'll look this up, but Walt Disney's mother, and this is how they explain why there is no parents in Walt Disney's films, is because he lost his mom and she just died. In the house, she died from asphyxiation, which I'm bringing up right now. Let me look in this. Oh, his mom's an ugly piece. Gas kills mother of Walt Disney.
Okay. Anyways, yeah.
So essentially, like
it was a gas leak.
from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Okay. Yeah.
And she died. So that's supposedly how they explain why he is trying to cut out the family. And to me, in my opinion, Disney is formatted. Not only I probably will let my kids watch a few Disney films, if any, because it is this whole thing of like trying to separate kids from the parents, and the government's trying to do it where they want to control and manipulate children and essentially have the state control the children. There was a fucking people confronted. Who was it? There was a certain politician in Nova Scotia or somewhere out east, and they were like, "You can't be like trying to force our kids to get like vaccines and stuff like that, right?" And he was like, you don't own your children. The state owns your children." And they were like, "What?" And they had this on film of this politician saying this. Your children are owned by the state. And that's where it dives in the conspiracy as soon as you get your birth certificate that you're owned by the state. And eventually I will be diving into Canada is a myth, which essentially
Canada is a myth. It's not real.
It's that Canada isn't a sovereign nation and we never became an independent nation. We were still owned by the monarchy
British,
and the Church of England, stuff like that. And then if there's a video when
we know that everyone knows that.
When Justin Trudeau got sworn into office, he pledged his allegiance to the Queen.
Yeah, that's normal.
Fuck that reptile bitch, all right?
That's not new news, though.
So
Everyone
let's
knows
get
that.
into the deepest, darkest secret of all. Walt's connection to Freemason.
Okay, let's go.
So, although Walt Disney was an official member of the Bohemian Club, which we talked about, he does have ties to Freemasonry.
All right.
There he is. Adorned in his nice little fucking cape.
That's fine.
Above is Disney in his moile, I don't know how a uniform. Disney was trained as a boy and a man on tenets of masonry in order of de moile, which I actually have to look into. An international organization headed by Freemasons for young men ages 12 to 21. The Order of de moile derives from its name from Jacques de Moile. Jacques de Moile, the last Grand Master of the Knights of Templar, the Knights of Templar. So you have all these things. So he is known to visit the club as a guest in 1936, which is crazy.
As a guest, he was a guest.
Yeah.
Okay, so
be my guest. Be my guest.
He wasn't a member. He was a guest. His friend was in it. He's like, "What's this about?"
And he said that what he experienced there inspired the dwarves snoring scene in the 1937 animated film Snow White. It has, however, been well documented with dozens of photographs in the public domain that Walt Disney was a member of these clubs. And for the elites, also located in California, was exclusive white male membership of only 700 members. of Ranchos Visitadoros, whatever the fuck that means. And you see throughout all these Disney films, you do see the checkered floor, which is a massive Freemason thing. The checkered floor is fucking nuts, man. Because and I could even dive in this in the episode. I actually have it right here. Give me fucking 2 seconds.
Just carry on. Fuck it.
But
we'll talk about that.
I'll talk about you, man. I'll talk about you. So essentially why the Masonic floor, because this is in all these Disney movies. The black and white checkered floor has it exists in temples in ancient Egypt. More simply, it was decorative mosaic pavement. It's called the mosaic pavement, and it bears esoteric spiritual meanings. And Freemasons recognize it as simply it's pretty much means good and evil. The checkered past of people, and then you have all these connections. So it's pretty fucked up. And this is all over Disney films all the time. You can look into it. At Walt Disney World, there's a secret exclusive club called the Club 33. Okay. Fucking weird. The only place at Disneyland where alcohol can be bought, which is fucking strange. Okay. And it's lavishly furnished. Club 33 contains an amazing collection of top-notch Disney movies, memorabilia, a beautiful reproduction antique French glass lift, and a gruesome trophy hunting collection. I've never been to Disneyland. I don't plan on going. Benevolent and Protective Order of the Mouse. That is fucking weird.
That's a weird thing. You could brush that off as just being innocently cute.
Benevolent. So claiming that you're not malevolent. Yeah. It's fucking weird, dude. Why would you have a Freemason 33 degrees is the top of and we talked about this. If you go back, listen to me and Billy talk about the Freemasons and their connection to Lucifer. It's the Satanism shit. Because it goes fucking super deep, man. It's all over the place. Look at and this is the checkered floor that's in the Bohemian Club, the Club 33. So obviously there are many rooms, exclusive areas within the club, as there is elsewhere in Disney World, with various levels of access that strictly are controlled. According to one Club 33 member, there is a $25,000 to $100,000 initiation fee and a 12.
How do they manipulate that number? Be anywhere from 25 to 100.
It depends on probably what you want to offer old Disney.
Gotcha.
And
no matter what, you're paying at least 25 grand.
And $12,000 to $30,000 annual fee. So it depends what level of membership you're actually at. There is said to be a 14-year waiting list for members, which it's only by invite, just like Bohemian Grove. And all these Masonic fucking cult ritual bullshit. Clearly, Club 33 is a place where only the connected rich can go. Club 33 was said to originally be designed as a place for Walt Disney to entertain guests and business associates, but when he died of lung cancer at 67, only 6 months before it was officially open, Club 33 is said to be a Masonic club. 33 is certainly a number that is very important in Freemasons. Pictures of the club, as we showed, in their trademark, it's everywhere. Man, what the fuck is that? At Disney World, they have the fucking Masonic symbol. Like, it's everywhere.
It's literally plastered.
Fucking weird. And that's what I want to end it on, because it obviously indicates that there is some witchcraft and stuff like that. And people that are like, oh, I'm a Freemason, whatever. I've known people that have said that they're in the organization or they're at the bottom tiers. Freemasons can say whatever they want. You can call it a big fun brotherhood where we fucking help each other. It's fucking evil. Fuck Freemasons. I don't really care. I really don't, because there's a lot of people that say like, oh, it's not that bad. You know, it's just a brotherly club. If you research the ideologies, it might have been good at the start of when Knights Templars were like trying to covenant stuff for the Catholic Church and stuff like that. But I think it's all a little shady. What do you think? What do you think about Disney, bro? I want to know.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you asked me what I thought about Freemasons, and I was like, well, I'm not in it, so I don't know. But, yeah.
Sketchy, eh?
Guys fucked, clearly.
Yeah.
But, like, guys also fucked for a guy before the times were there.
But you agree with what's going on with Disney and stuff like that.
Like, still today, like, whoever took over all that shit definitely whoever's behind Walt, I honestly took away from that most than anything is I took away that whoever's behind Walt Disney now that Walt died is more fucked than Walt was.
He's probably like specifically put a person in charge, like, do you like Jews? Not you.
Yeah. Like,
You know what I mean?
and now that guy lived long enough to get into like the good times. He's like, nah, we're still gonna do this.
And honestly,
Like, that
the
guy's more
I
fucked up than
research,
Disney
the more
was.
I go into stuff, researching the show and just my own beliefs and things I've looked into in the books I've read and reading, is that the way that reality is structured, especially after mushroom use and stuff like that, is not what we think it is. And realizing the subconscious picks up all these messages and symbols more than we'll ever understand makes me really think that we're being indoctrinated. That there's things happening.
There's a chance.
And to be honest, like I've seen, as much as I've grown and changed and kind of thing, I've seen you also change and seen some of the bullshit because you start wading through stuff. You're like, why is this happening? Why is this happening?
It's fair. Yeah.
It's weird. A lot of this stuff is weird. And like, now that I'm getting older and I'm getting married and I want to have kids, I want to make sure my kids don't get manipulated. I work with a dude that is also on the same page. He has three kids. And I was joking. I was like, "You have a fourth?" I was like, "I think
That's enough."
yeah, and he was saying, "Who knows?" But he was saying that like he's trying to like teach his kids right, but also not say too much. Where now his older kid is kind of starting to clue in to like some of the stuff he talks about of the government and stuff like that, where you can hear him like he's taking stuff in. You just have to be careful, right? Because kids pick up things all the time, but showing them certain fucked up Disney movies is
Probably not a good start.
But you know what? You got a fun fact at all?
Sure. It's time for. I'm so happy I don't have to yell this anymore. Billy's fun fact of the day. I really didn't, but I do got a life lesson. Well, it's
Don't
kind
watch
of
Disney.
it's kind of a fun. Don't watch Disney. Oh my god, dude! Honestly, the amount of effort that's been taken off me just not screaming that every day.
I know.
By the end of the podcast, I feel really good about it. I'm happy we recorded that. Anyways, have you ever laid in bed at night and like visualize something like to fruition?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
To an extent, yeah.
that goes like oddly deeper in your mind than you can think. So there was and this test has been studied like over and over and over and over again, where they take two top tier teams of whatever you're talking about, whether it be debate or sports or like anything in their field. And they take two top teams, surgeons or whatever.
I'm sorry. I will piss
No,
my
this
pants.
is-
I'm going to piss my
This
pants.
is super cool, though.
I know. I'm going to piss my pants. Give me like literally 2 minutes. I was like trying to hold it.
He can't hold it for 30 seconds.
No, literally, I can't. Can't. Give me 2 seconds. Talk to them about.
Fuck it, you're gonna know. He doesn't have to know. Anyways, when they took two top tier in whatever you want, whatever industry you want to talk about, and they ran this test hundreds of times. They put the two top tier teams against each other, and they told one, you need to go actually perform your craft to the best of your ability every single day for the next 3 weeks. And they did. And they told the other team to sit down. You're not allowed to touch it once. And you just need to pretend like you're doing it and then visualize the fact that you did it flawlessly and just lie in bed all fucking day and just pretend like you did it. And then when they put them on a head to head of actually doing it, the visualization team ended up winning like literally 99% of the time, which is fucked up.
All right, so I was fucking taking a quick.
No, it doesn't matter. They know it, but that is fucked up. So they literally over that amount of time, the people that didn't actually perform shit won 99% of the time. Out of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things, they lost once.
But you
and I was like, that's fucked up.
You see that means that our reality is malleable to an extent, is that you can like manipulate it. And the more you think towards the stuff, that's why like doing mushrooms, stuff like that, like makes me see that you can influence our reality and your belief can change things. I'm as much as I'm worried about the world and I hate the government and I don't like what's going on, I still try to come at it from a positive attitude of like,
finally,
yeah, I'm trying, man, but that humans are stronger and more resilient and more compassionate than we know of. And these evil, psychotic, narcissistic people in power, they'll eventually fade away and something else will be replaced, I hope. But
We'll
they
see.
will try
Anyways,
their best.
this has been part
I've liked
one.
it a lot, yeah.
And part 2 is coming.
I know. I'm really excited about that because that's
Cheers.
going Disneyland.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I know. So
Cheers, guys. Everybody. Have a
love
great night.
everybody.
Take care. Oh, every time I take off the headphones, my ears hurt.
I know. I just
Ow.
unplugged my ears.
Fuck, they
I thought that
hurt.
was really good. Like we talked.